Can somebody help my husband?
When a California preacher presents in the ER again and again with an out-of-control heart rate.
Don't let me die up in here.
The doctors weren't able to figure it out. I was having nightmares about death.
His illness will escalate before an answer can be found.
Hold him down, hold him down.
My wife was crying. She was concerned whether I had died.
People with those conditions are more likely to die prematurely.
Well, you know, a relationship is a strong commitment.
In 1991, ordained minister Harley Howard and his wife DeWanda had no idea that their lives were about to spiral out of control.
We're gonna have to leave soon if we're gonna make it to the radio show.
Okay, we'll be wrapping up in just a minute here.
So I was pretty active. I was involved in church work and doing radio. On those days where I wasn't involved in ministry, I was weight training and doing a lot of cardio.
One day while out walking, 43-year-old Harley experiences something out of the ordinary.
I first experienced symptoms of irregular heartbeat or heart palpitations. It felt as though someone was standing right on my chest.
Harley is generally healthy, but overweight by more than 65 pounds, with a family history of heart disease.
My father died of a heart attack at 65. My oldest brother also died of a heart attack. So I was concerned whether there was some kind of a link to these palpitations and his death.
Hey, baby. How was your exercise?
It did occur to me that the exercise itself might have been the cause of the heart palpitations.
Since Harley's heart rate quickly returns to normal, he doesn't seek medical attention. But the symptoms return a few weeks later in a much more dramatic way. One night, Harley awakens with a racing heart.
The next episode was when I was sleeping. The palpitations were longer. It was quite terrifying.
Afraid that he might be having a heart attack, his wife DeWanda rushes Harley to a nearby emergency room.
Harley presented to the emergency room with symptoms of chest pain, palpitations, shortness of breath.
Let's get him hooked up on an EKG.
EKG and echocardiogram tests confirm Harley's worst fears.
It was like almost a refrain from a song. I knew it was coming, and sure enough, they said that you are diagnosed with atrial fibrillation.
Atrial fibrillation is an irregular heart rhythm that causes a very irregular and fast heart rate that may put people at risk for a stroke.
They said, we think it's atrial fibrillation, and so we want to prescribe these medicines for you.
Take one of these a day. There you go.
Because of my family history with heart disease. And I was thinking maybe it is something heart-related.
Harley's irregular heart rhythm, in combination with being overweight by more than 65 pounds, makes him more likely to have a heart attack.
I wasn't exercising because I didn't have time really to do it anymore. The horrific diet and the stressful nature of ministry itself had to have something to do with the condition of my heart.
Harley's health takes a backseat to his busy schedule. He simply takes the medications prescribed for the condition and hopes for the best.
I was very concerned about it. But I had a ministry at the time that was thriving, and I was doing live radio, and my radio program was quite popular. And that, at that point, was my priority, as well as the church. I wasn't going to stop.
Harley's stressful schedule would cause his health problems to emerge again.
One night after being on radio, we were driving home. We got about 3 miles to our exit. All of a sudden, my heart just exploded. The rhythm of the heart went wild, and the beats were very rapid, and they weren't slowing down at all.
Wanda.
Baby, what's going on? Where are we going?
Hospital.
Once again, Harley heads for the ER with his worried wife DeWanda by his side. He drives himself and barely makes it to the hospital a few blocks away.
Hello, Mr. Howard.
It was the same scenario, the same hospital, so they knew that this was something that happened before.
If a patient presents to the emergency room with acute chest pain, the condition most people worry first about is a heart attack.
We're in this together, okay?
When Harley arrived at the emergency room, his heart rate was 150 beats per minute.
A normal resting heart rate is between 60 and 100 beats per minute. Harley's is twice that.
Emergency room doctors were more concerned with making sure that his heart rate came under control. Sometimes that little delay can make a huge difference between life and death.
Doc, what's happening with me?
Harley's atrial fibrillation puts him at risk for a stroke.
Just let him work, okay?
You just relax, just breathe and relax.
The doctor orders an electrocardiogram, which records the electrical activity of the heart and can help doctors find the cause of the unexplained chest pain.
So we have reviewed the test results. There is a possibility of congestive heart failure.
Congestive heart failure is a condition that involves poor heart muscle function. When patients have congestive heart failure, fluid backs up, often into the lungs, causing shortness of breath and symptoms of chest tightness.
People with those conditions are more likely to die prematurely.
Harley, this is just one
That
possibility.
means I'm gonna die.
No.
They never said this is declaratively what the problem is.
Emergency room physicians are trained to deal with acute situations and stabilize them. They don't have the time or ability to ask the detailed questions.
Given the life-threatening nature of the Reverend's heart rate, the ER staff acts quickly to stabilize him, regardless of the cause.
A little stiff here, okay?
They did a good job in bringing his heart rate down, bringing him back to a normal rhythm, starting him on medications that would control his heart rate.
Harley is sent home with medications to treat both his previous diagnosis of atrial fibrillation as well as the latest diagnosis of congestive heart failure.
DeWanda!
Yes.
It happened again.
If the medications aren't effective in keeping his heart rate under control, Harley could have a stroke at any minute. For Reverend Harley Howard, the diagnosis feels like a death sentence.
I was waiting to die. So,
upon returning from a vacation in a tropical third world country, a man experiences a cycle of fevers, chills, and sweating every 3 days. What does the doctor suspect? A, a fungal infection. B, Lassa fever. C, malaria. The answer when we return. The man back from vacation in a third world country who has fevers and chills most likely has C, malaria. Transmitted by mosquitoes, this parasitic illness often presents in 3-day cycles. Reverend Harley Howard refuses to let his heart condition interfere with his ministry.
Harley,
Yeah.
we're gonna be late.
it didn't matter really what happened to me. The work of the Lord had to get done.
Will the neglect of his health result in dire consequences?
What's happening with me?
He told me if I didn't change my ways, I was going to die. The doctor told me, we have no idea.
43-year-old Harley Howard has already been to the ER twice this year.
Harley has had a history of cardiovascular symptoms, and the diagnosis was atrial fibrillation and congestive heart failure.
Each one of those diagnoses were prescribed a particular medication to try to deal with it. But those medications didn't work. Everything continued to get worse.
In spite of the medications to treat both atrial fibrillation and congestive heart failure, Harley's heart palpitations continue.
Yeah, I got depressed at that point because I was thinking, well, maybe they're right, maybe I'm dying.
Harley's heart palpitations are now so frequent that he can no longer sleep through the night.
I was having a nightmare. I saw myself dying.
I was having nightmares. Always nightmares about death.
Desperate for an answer, Harley consults with his primary care physician.
I'm having heart attacks. This is not normal.
Could it be something in his diet or even his environment that's causing his racing heartbeat? Or the demands of his hectic schedule?
Harley presented to his doctor with complaints of rapid heartbeat, feeling of impending doom, something cardiac was going on.
The doctor runs the standard tests: CBC blood panels, electrocardiograms, and blood pressure analysis.
We're testing everything we can test.
He did have atrial fibrillation. There are EKG tracings to show that.
However, the doctor sees no signs of congestive heart failure, nor can he explain why the medications aren't working to control his heart rate.
And now we have this mystery. We don't know what's going on, but we know it's the heart.
If congestive heart failure isn't what's causing Harley's heart problems, could anxiety be the cause of the minister's troubles? What if the heart palpitations are the result of panic attacks?
I was afraid to go to sleep. I don't think I ever had a regular dream. Something would always kill me in my dreams and nightmares. And I wake up, and it was so frightening because I would think people were in the room. My heart was racing, it would stop.
What's wrong?
I feel like I'm having a heart attack.
Can somebody help my husband?
One night, Harley wakes up with his heart racing so intensely that he's rushed to the emergency room for the third time in 11 months.
Help him!
Harley, having chest pains again.
Worst it's ever been.
Get him into room 12, EKG stat. Let's go.
I feel like someone's standing on my chest.
And again, they found that his heart rate was elevated and that he was feeling very uncomfortable.
Give me the EKG, please.
Irregular heart rates can be rapidly fatal, even with modern medicine and the best of care.
With his heart rate faster than any previous ER visit, the doctor must act fast to bring it back to a safe level before he has a heart attack.
Give me some nitro. Okay, Harley.
This ER doctor has an idea. He just said what I'm attempting to do is, in a computer term, to reboot your heart.
All right, hang in there. Get an IV on him right now.
Harley underwent cardioversion to reset his heart and resume a normal rhythm.
In the procedure, antiarrhythmic medication is injected through an IV directly into the patient's bloodstream.
Just try to relax.
The injection should instantly slow the heart rate and return it to a normal rhythm.
He didn't tell me what was going to happen when he did it.
All right, here we go.
The cardioversion takes effect instantaneously.
Hold him down, hold him down, hold him down. It's all right, Harley. It's gonna be okay.
The whole room began to just close in. And my legs and arms just went uncontrollable. The heart just stopped for about 3 seconds, like someone punched me from the inside out.
His heart rate snaps back to normal in a quarter of a second.
Just relax, baby. It's okay.
Still, doctors are perplexed. No amount of medication seems to keep Harley's heart rate under control. It's also a mystery as to why all of Harley's attacks have happened in the evening or early morning hour.
I don't want to die.
And you're not. You're right here with me.
At 3:40 in the morning, I'm laying in bed. I'm wired up with the heart monitor. I asked the doctor what was the problem, and the doctor told me, we have no idea.
On each ER visit, Harley's condition is getting worse, and it's getting harder and harder to stabilize him. The possibility of Harley having a fatal heart attack seems to be increasingly likely. Stabilized, Harley heads home with no answers. He's feeling all right for a few months before his next attack.
The next episode was probably the most frightening times of my life.
I'm dying.
Mr. Howard, please, I need you to remain calm. I know it hurt.
Once again, the ER staff run all of the usual blood tests, EKGs, and ECGs. This time, Harley's heart rate is so fast that doctors must take dramatic steps to prevent a heart attack.
Because they couldn't bring his rhythm under control in a rapid manner, they had to perform electrocardioversion. Electrocardioversion is often a last resort when they're too unstable, and it's important to bring their heart rhythm under control in a rapid manner.
In a moment, we're going to sedate you. You're not going to feel anything, okay, buddy?
With electrical cardioversion, the patient is sedated and patches are placed on the chest. Then, a small electrical charge is delivered over the heart to reset the heart's rhythm back to its regular pattern.
He said, we can shock your heart back to its rhythm.
Clear?
Nothing's working. Symptoms are getting worse and worse. Now I have to get shocked in the heart.
Clear.
The electrical current delivers a powerful jolt. Harley's heartbeat stabilizes, and for the moment, he's out of danger.
Baby, you have me so scared.
We didn't know what to think. I said, well, at least I get to preach tomorrow. I'm still alive another day.
After 4 ER visits, doctors still have no answers for how to keep Harley's heart rate at a safe level. In fact, his heart palpitations only seem to be getting worse.
Baby, we don't have to do this now.
Later that afternoon, I tell my wife, I want to make sure all the insurance papers are together. because I'm convinced that I'm gonna die. But the thing that concerned me was I didn't want to die not knowing what it was.
A deaf man of Finnish ancestry presents with severe loss of vision and poor balance. What does the doctor suspect? A. Usher syndrome. B. Sickle cell disease. C. Dermatosparaxis. The answer when we return. The deaf man of Finnish ancestry with vision loss and poor balance most likely has A. Usher syndrome. This inherited disorder, mostly found in populations from Finland, causes deafness and gradual blindness. No matter how much heart medication 43-year-old Harley Howard takes, he still experiences major heart palpitations.
The symptoms were still there. They never went away. The nightmares were still there.
Will doctors find a solution before it's too late?
I don't want to die. I'm convinced that I'm gonna die. They said, we don't know what's wrong with you. And if they didn't know what was going on, I was in trouble.
Harley's uncontrollable heart palpitations puts him at a high risk for a fatal heart attack.
I really began to think that I'm going down a spiral. I'm not going to recover from this at all.
One of the minister's parishioners, a medical technician named Alex Harris, has his own theories about Harley's health.
I originally heard Harley on the radio and became a regular attendee of his church.
Alex had heard a little bit about Harley's history of heart problems and repeated ER visits.
Alex Harris approached me and said, Pastor, I think your issue might be sleep.
I'd like you to come down and I'd like to run some tests on you.
Alex's work at a sleep disorder clinic may hold the key to Harley's heart problems.
You got nothing to lose, right?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Could Harley's nightmares and difficulty sleeping be the answer to his chronic heart palpitations?
I thought the whole idea of a sleep issue was ludicrous.
I don't think the sleep has anything to do with my heart condition. I'm apprehensive about doing this in the first place.
But Alex is persistent, and on New Year's Eve 2001, Harley finally agrees to be tested at a sleep disorder clinic in Los Angeles.
I said, okay, I'll do it, but I did it in my mind to prove him wrong.
On the night that Harley came in, I let him pick the room of his choosing and the pillow of his choosing. I attached the sensors and monitors to him. He looked pretty tired when he got here.
Okay, here we go. You're all set. Lay back, relax. Sweet dreams, okay?
We asked him to sleep 6, 7, 8 hours, and all the while we're recording the data. We monitor breathing with some sensors and oxygen. We also listen for their breathing and sounds of distress by using sensitive microphones and infrared cameras. Verify the information that's coming across on the computer. For the first hour or so, all he did was snore. And I thought, what a waste of time.
As Harley falls into the deepest stages of REM sleep, characterized by rapid movement of the eyes and vivid dreams, Alex begins to see a pattern.
That's when I observed him stop breathing completely and for a long period of time, 30, 40 seconds, and watched his oxygen saturation just start to bottom out. And I thought, aha, this is it. We're on to it.
Relax, my friend. We have some interesting test results.
He said, your oxygen levels were in the 90s. When you went to REM sleep, they were just dropping. He said, and all these dips are episodes where you weren't breathing, and they were just all night long. He said, all your symptoms that you've been going through are directly associated with sleep.
Give us some time. Let us go over the data. Just relax for now, okay?
And I said, what? I thought that this was just nonsense.
Alex then asks Harley to spend the following night sleeping with the aid of a machine known as CPAP, which stands for Continuous Positive Airway Pressure and is designed to facilitate breathing during sleep.
CPAP works on a principle of using air pressure as a splint. The machine blows air into the throat to keep the throat inflated and keep the walls of the throat out of the way while a patient is sleeping.
You make this look good, baby.
My wife and I were just kind of looking at this thing like, well, let's see if this works.
Get some sleep.
Set up the machine, went to sleep. 8 hours later, I woke up on the same side. I didn't move. 8 hours of solid, peaceful rest. It was the greatest sleep I had in, well, maybe forever.
I'm feeling great. Good. Getting some sleep finally. Good.
The success of CPAP confirms the final diagnosis. Harley's heart conditions of atrial fibrillation and fatigue are caused by a condition known as obstructive sleep apnea.
Obstructive sleep apnea is when people are trying to breathe at night, but because their upper airway is too narrow, they don't get enough airflow. There are a number of risk factors for obstructive sleep apnea. The most common ones are being male, being overweight.
In turn, the difficulty breathing causes excessive strain on the sleeper's heart.
When people aren't breathing well at night, at the same time as their oxygen levels are coming down, the body's sending a distress signal, so their heart rate and their blood pressure start to rise. And the combination causes a great stress on the system. And that stress may translate into atrial fibrillation, high blood pressure, stroke, and a large number of other cardiovascular factors.
In Harley's case, his sleep apnea put a strain on his heart, causing the atrial fibrillation and even his nightmares. Harley would then awaken with heart palpitations and have to go to the ER to get the rhythm back under control. Over time, the stress of not breathing at night made it more and more difficult for ER doctors to stabilize his heart rate.
I would have never imagined that sleep would have been the cause of all this.
The only treatment Harley needs is the CPAP machine to help him get enough oxygen at night.
And I said, hook me up. Whatever you have to do, whatever machine, I want you to hook me up because I need to get treated.
Harley will always need to use the CPAP machine, but exercise and weight loss could help ease his condition over time. 7 years after his diagnosis, Harley Howard is feeling better than ever.
Never had a nightmare since I got treated. Never had a heart issue again. All those symptoms went away. No more atrial fibrillation, no palpitations, none of that, all gone.
Harley's response shows that treating obstructive sleep apnea can, in some cases, reverse some of the damage to the cardiovascular system.
If one of Harley's parishioners had not recognized Harley's sleep disorder, the minister could have risked permanent damage to his heart or even a stroke.
I'm very thankful that our paths crossed the way they did.
It is indeed a miraculous story. I thank God for Alex Harris, the man who I tell people to this day who literally saved my life.